Hey guys, welcome to It's Just Queena, where we're just gonna have candid conversation, just talking about things that are raw, real, and relevant without any judgment. This is a safe space here. I welcome you guys to my first ever entry dialogue. As we get better, and we will, things will get a little more technical savvy, so don't come for me. But today I just want to say that I showed up, and that's what this message is called. I showed up. One of the things I really wanted to tune in on and hone in on is, not only do I show up, but who I show up as. There are so many people that are showing up every day to work, to church, to school. I mean, this is teenagers, these are kids, these are adults who are showing up every day, hurting, broken, grieving, exhausted, at their wits' end, ready to throw in the towel, ready to give up on life. And a lot of times people always look at the exterior, but they don't look at what's going on the inside. And a lot of people are struggling on the inside. For a long time, I really couldn't be real with myself because I didn't have that luxury. I was showing up all over town. I was going to the gym. I was training. I was doing classes. I was showing up in my marriage, being the woman that my ex-husband wanted me to be. I was showing up, as a mentor and as a coach and doing different things at the gym, being, this fierce leader that everybody needed me to be. I was showing up when my brother had passed away as being, the super strong sister, the one that's got it together, that I got my prayer life, I'm praying, I'm strong. I was showing up for everybody, but I wasn't being my authentic self because deep down inside, I was hiding who I was. Deep down inside, I was hurting. Deep down inside, I was broken. Deep down inside, I really was 2 seconds from throwing in the towel. And so how you show up is so important because you can show up to be what everybody else needs you to be, but you forget about the key component. Who are you to yourself? I was hurting. I was dealing with so many things. And I remember I was teaching class at the gym, and I could remember showing up and I had a situation that happened and I had two black eyes. I was wearing glasses and I don't think anybody noticed. And then it was in that moment I realized nobody really cares. As long as they're getting what they were getting, as long as they were getting gratified or they were having that moment or enjoying themselves, they didn't care about me showing up with black eyes. They didn't care about me showing up with, a meniscus tear and a knee injury. They didn't care about me having a torn shoulder or ligament. All they cared about was what was important for them. And so, in spite of all the injuries that I sustained, all the things that I have been hurting through, I still showed up. And so I have to get real with myself. Am I showing up for them or for me, or am I showing up for them? Because a lot of times we think that because we show up and we put ourselves in the forefront, that's a healthy place, because some of us are people pleasing, and that was something that I had to get through my head. I'm not showing up because oh, okay, I'm gonna show up and just be here. I was showing up because I was too busy trying to be a people pleaser. I was so busy trying to be the woman and wife that my ex-husband needed me to be, that I was just showing up to be whatever people needed me to be in that moment. But it was in a moment of time where I had to get real with myself and say, you know what, Queen, you got to show up for you. At the end of the day, you've got to love you and pour back into you. And so I wanted to remind someone today, like I said, I'm just going to keep this really brief. I need you to show up for you. What does showing up for you really look like? If you had to show up for yourself, if you had an imaginary self or a duplicate self or an AI, if you had to show up, are you showing up your authentic self? Are you showing up 100% you, or are you showing up as a representative? Are you showing up trying to be the mom, the teacher, the wife, the executive? Who are you trying to show up to be? Because if you're not good to yourself, you're not going to be any good to the people. Because what ended up happening to me, I end up falling apart. I end up having these mental breakdowns. I end up not being able to speak up and speak my truth because I have been trying to be there for everybody else and I didn't know how to be there for myself. So all I'm simply saying to you is, on this day, when you show up, I want you to show up your best self. your healed self. Don't try to mask and be somebody that you're not. Don't try to cover it up and try to, I showed up to this event. Because you have people who do that. I showed up, I went to the gym, I showed up. I'm here. You're here, but where's your heart? You're here, but where's your mind? You're here, you're physically here, but are you mentally here? And so you can be a hindrance to your life, to yourself, to your growth, always showing up being somebody else. Never being your authentic self. You're there because you have to be and not because you want to be. You're there because you're showing up because you made a promise. Or I know I told them I was going to go out to the club tonight and you don't even want to be there. You're there physically. You're showing up, but you're not present in that moment. And so I just want to tell someone, whoever may watch this, you may watch it today, you may watch it tomorrow, you may not watch it at all, it may not be for you. No matter what happens, I need you to show up for you. I showed up. That's the valuable lesson. I showed up. I showed up today in spite of not having tools and equipment that I need as of yet. I showed up today to record this to remind somebody that in spite of every obstacle that you may be having, you got to start somewhere. You got to show up and be who you are. I had to show up today to speak life to somebody else and tell them, show up as you. Don't mask it. Don't hide it. Don't be somebody else. Show up for you. Find you a team of people that love you and that will surround you and show up for you. Because at the end of the day, if you stop making that call first, if you stop sending that text first, if you stop doing all those things first, who's going to show up for you? Who's going to be there for you to fill your cup when you're going to go through it? And trust me, baby, baby, you're going to go through it. Show up for you. I showed up, y'all. I'm here for it. Stay tuned. Something else getting ready to drop. Stay tuned.